welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing Klean Kanteen's Food Box Complete Set. That's what I have sitting right here. I just got this as a surprise. It was a gift, so I wasn't really expecting it. The box itself has already been opened, but the contents on the inside have not been opened. This is what it looks like from a bird's eye view. You can see the box is right there on top, and then there's more packaging inside as well. There is also a plastic packing slip or packing list on the side of this box. There's not a packing list on the inside. So as for what other contents were inside the box, it is this like packaging filler to kind of keep the box from shuffling around. It looks to be just a very plain paper that's very thin. It looks recyclable, but I'm gonna make sure before I try and recycle it. Next up, we have the actual box itself with the 3 boxes inside. And again, this is the food box set. It's the complete set, so you get the snack, lunch, and meal box inside. And Klean Kanteen is certified B Corporation, 1% for the planet, and climate neutral. They're also leak-proof, all stainless steel interior, BPA-free, and dishwasher safe. They do not recommend that you put this in the freezer. And of course you can't put it in the microwave, but you can put it into the oven. They just recommend that you use oven mitts when you take it out. I'm sure someone has burnt themselves and then complained. The smallest container holds 7 ounces. The middle container, that's the square, holds 20 ounces. And then the largest container holds 34 ounces. And then they just have some information along the back. If you want to read that, you can pause it. The one thing that I did want to note here is that the Klean Kanteen brand just recently sent out some emails. I'm on their emailing list, and they are really close to switching to almost completely recycled stainless steel for most of their products. They are switching to recycled stainless steel for their straws and then as well as their bottles, and I think that is so amazing. There is not another brand out there that I'm aware of that has recycled metal in their vacuum sealed bottles, so I am just so excited for that transition to officially be complete. So let's go ahead and open the box. So the box just opens kind of like the Drops boxes. If you saw my Drops laundry pods and dishwasher pods unboxing, then it's a very similar closure. Inside we just have this small paper packet. It looks to just have some regular information on here. I'm going to stick that to the side. And then we also have the smallest container, the medium-sized container, and then underneath another piece of cardboard that I can take out is the largest container. And so that's all that's inside this box. So I'm just gonna put this box off to the side. And the first thing you'll notice, like I did, is that these come in plastic. And so I was really surprised that these came in plastic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the plastic. It is a number 4 LDPE recyclable plastic bag. So you'll just have to make sure that your local recycling center will accept number 4 recyclables. And then if not, then you're out of luck. These were also made in China, so that's something to note. If you're looking for American-made products, then these were made in China. And so overall, the amount of plastic that came in the packaging and along with the packing slip that was on the outside of the box is right here. So this is the plastic that came with this product Food Box Complete Set. It's not a lot, but I really just wasn't expecting to see any. So maybe in the future, they'll be able to work around that, but that's what came with this product. So this is the smallest container. It holds 7 ounces or 207 milliliters. The lid is part stainless steel and part silicone. It's food grade silicone. So it's got an airtight seal, and then it does have a vent, as they call it, so that when you are replacing the lid on your product, you can use that to get as much air as possible out of the container. It feels very sturdy. It's a little bit thinner than what I was expecting. I don't have stainless steel food containers, so these are my first ones. And then I'm also noticing that for the lip, it curves over kind of like you would see on a pizza pan or maybe a cookie sheet pan. So I'm a little bit curious to see how these hold up in the dishwasher, because I know this area right here tends to hold water and that can rust really easily. So I'm hopeful that that doesn't happen, but I'm curious to see how these hold up over time. The middle tier container is 20 ounces or 591 milliliters. And unlike the smallest container, it has these little, kind of like if you have an Apple Watch, it's a very similar closure. It is just a hole on the silicone, and then there's a little pin that sticks out of the metal container, and it kind of closes, it kind of like clicks onto that, and that's how you keep it closed. There's a total of 2 of those, so there's one on this side and then there's one on the opposite side. You have to undo both of those before you can take off the lid, and other than that, it's the same kind of lid. This is what the lid looks like, and it also has a similar venting corner so that you can pull that back when you're closing the lid to get as much air out as possible. And then this is what the square container looks like as well. It's an identical construction to the smaller container, same with the lip. It's single walled. It feels very nice. It feels very solid, and it's very easy to replace the lid. So as I was saying, it was very easy to close the lid. I closed it without using the vent. And when you don't do that, it definitely traps air in there. And the vent is very helpful. Taking it off was a little bit difficult if I wasn't taking it off with the vent side first. So that side that's all silicone, you can also see it on the front. It's got kind of the corner is more silicone than any of the other corners. If you don't take it off with that side first, it's a little bit harder to remove. So that was interesting. And then for the last and largest container, this is 35 ounces or 1,005 milliliters, which is just a little bit over a liter. So that's a pretty sizable container. And it also has 2 closures, just like the middle tier container, one on this side and then on the opposite side as well. Those are the shorter sides of the container. It also has the little vent corner up right here as well in the top right. On all of the lids, you may have noticed the Klean Kanteen branding, and they are a very glossy stainless steel, whereas the sides are more of a brushed stainless steel. The lid comes off just like all of the other containers. It's pretty easy to take off, pretty easy to replace. And then the last thing that I wanted to do was compare these with my first impressions to the Snapware containers that I already have. And so for the smallest container, this is 7 ounces. And then this one is 1 cup. So that's gonna be about 8 ounces. I do wish that this was 1 more ounce so that you could just say this is a cup. It's very easy for measurement rather than having 7 ounces. I feel like that's a little bit of an odd measurement. But the rectangular feature of this makes it really nice when you're stacking all 3, because then they can fit into your lunchbox like this, and it makes for a nice rectangular box or overall shape in your lunchbox. I think that's a lot easier to kind of stack and maneuver. Whereas this one is a square. It's a little bit bulkier around the edges. And then of course the glass I think is a little bit thicker than the stainless steel with these. This is my 2-cup Snapware container, which is smaller than this one by a lot, because remember this one is 20 ounces. And so it is gonna technically be smaller even though it looks bigger. But what I really wanted to compare this one to was this one right here, because this one is the one that we usually use for sandwiches because it's the square. So if I'm not using a stasher, or especially before I had my stasher bags, I would use this one for sandwiches. That's what I thought this one was going to be. It is a lot thinner than the Snapware container. And so for that reason, I am both excited but a little bit curious to see how this performs with sandwiches. But at the same time, this is 20 ounces and that's about 2.5 cups, while this one is 4 cups. So this one also just holds more. The last thing to really note about these 2 containers is that the Snapware containers are much, much cheaper than Klean Kanteen. Klean Kanteen, as I mentioned before, B certified corporation, 1% for the planet, carbon neutral. Those are all really excellent things. And so I'm willing to pay a little bit more for a product so I can have the sustainable or the ethical goals that I want to have in my life and in my products. But they are a lot more than other containers that I have. This set right here retails for $64.95 on their website. You can find it cheaper on Amazon, but $64.95 for 3 containers is really steep. And so that's definitely not going to be in the budget of everyone. I talk about in my stasher review and unboxing and probably the uses video that I have for stasher bags, that those bags are very expensive, and so they're not going to fit everyone's budget. This might be a scenario where it's not the best option for you because of the price. So I'm really curious to see how they work for me and hold up for me over the next several months, especially considering that I can use my Snapware containers to easily stick in the freezer or the microwave if I want to, whereas that's not recommended or not possible with these Klean Kanteen containers. And so there you have it. Those are my first impressions on Klean Kanteen's Food Box Complete Set. I'm really excited to try these out over the next couple of months and especially compare them up against the stasher bags that I have and the glass Snapware containers that I have. If you're interested in seeing how these compare, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can see my future videos. If you liked this video or if it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know what you think about these Klean Kanteen containers in the comment section below.